Welcome to Mad Mom Strong Prenatal. Today we have a core glute mobility workout. We need a Pilates ball, a yoga block, and a loop band, as well as the big ball, stability ball. So sitting on your ball nice and tall, I want you to think long through your crown. We're just going to rotate our hips clockwise. Keep your head centered and rotate your hips around. And then switch directions. So we want to keep our hips nice and mobile, which can help with birthing and baby exiting out. So you have three levels of your pelvis. You have your inlet, your mid-pelvis, and your outlet. And all three areas open differently with different movements, and that's how the baby's going to navigate its way out. So now we're going to go into a figure eight. So drawing a figure eight. I'm drawing my figure eight backwards. We're just moving those hips in a figure eight. Notice if you feel any areas that are really sticky. Switch directions. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, engage core, and hug baby up and in. Inhale, expand. Feel your pelvic floor relax into the ball. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. On this next exhale, we're going to lift a foot up. So inhale, expand. Exhale, lift and engage. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift the other foot. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lift. Again. Good. Now we're just going to do lateral movement in the hips here. So keeping your head centered, moving your hips side to side. Good. Let's take the ball, I'm just going to set it aside, and we're going to come down onto the ground here. Let's grab your blocks. We're going to continue to do some breathing and just some mobility. Low back typically tends to get quite tight because we stand a little bit clenched in our glutes, and our back gets really tight to offset for the lack of strength in the core. So we're going to place one knee on the block. So my right knee's on the block, and I'm going to shift my weight over to that knee. And then from here, we're going to do some cat-cows. But I'm going to inhale as I round. So I'm inhaling into my back. And then exhale as I look up. Inhale as I go into the cat. Exhale as I look up. But let's keep this just in the pelvis. Inhale and expand through the back. Exhale. Keeping my weight over this knee. You can rotate your belly button into your thigh a little bit there. Get some internal hip rotation. And then switch sides. So with this asymmetrical shift in the pelvis, we're working our mid-pelvis. Inhale, feel that stretch, that release in the low back there. Couple more. Last one, big inhale. Good. We're going to place that block to the side. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to inhale, expand. Exhale, engage, and extend opposite arm and opposite leg out. If that's feeling good, then you can lift up off the ground, float it off. But we want to have nice, good stability. Pressure through this wrist, engagement in the core. Long through the crown. Three more. Exhaling all your air out. So we're doing these slow, more time under tension. It's what we want for building strength. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, engage and extend. You can start on the mat. When that feels nice and stable, you can float the arms and leg up. If your wrists are getting sore, you can go onto a fist. That's it. Halfway, 6 more. Nice and stable. Don't let those hips shift out to the side. Keep your hip over your knee. 3 more. And 1. Nicely done. Grab your ball here. I really want you to feel your glutes, and we're going to tie it in with our core. So we're going to reach our hands forward, our hips are back. We're going to exhale, squeeze our glutes and squeeze the ball and lift ourselves up. Inhale, reach back. Exhale. So this hip hinge movement is super important postpartum because we need to be hinging as we're lifting and putting baby up and down in the bassinet or in the crib. Lengthening those glutes. We need to lengthen our glutes so that we can strengthen them. So as you come up, I really want you to feel that your glutes are engaging, your sit bones are coming together, and it's your glutes that are lifting you up, not your low back. Let's do 2 more. Nicely done. So we're going to go back to the quadruped. We're going to place the ball behind our knee here, hands on our shoulders, knees on our hips. We're going to get our hamstrings involved. Exhale, lifting up. So really think about squeezing your glute here to lift that leg up as you extend the opposite arm out. If you feel unstable, you can just lift the leg as we squeeze the ball using our hamstrings. Nice. That's it. 2 more. Feel that hamstring. Awesome. Switch sides. Ball in the other knee pit. Here we go. Exhale, engage. Either single limb or both. Long through the crown, stable, strong. Hug baby in as you engage that core. Keep that deep core on. Nice pause, get all the air out. 1 more. Nicely done. Ball between the knees again here, the thighs. We're gonna get into that hinge, that lengthened position. but we don't want to have our arch in our back, so keep those ribs down, and we're going to exhale, pull ourselves up. Inhale, reach the hips back. Exhale, feel the glutes lifting you up. Nice work. Couple more. Last two. And one. Great. We're going to go down onto our side, and we're going to do a side plank variation. We're going to place the ball between our ankles, and it's a side-lying side plank. From here, you can we're going to hover that heel and ankle off the ground. Inhale, push it over. Exhale, lift and engage core. Float the leg up. So really what we're thinking about is we're bringing our hips and our ribs closer together. We're strengthening our obliques and our QL here. If you want more of a challenge, you can hold up there for a few breaths. Or you can keep it dynamic, up and down. Two more. And last one. Good. You can either roll into the other side or exhale, press up, and make your way to your other side. Ball between the ankles. Ready? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift and engage. Squeezing the ball, so you're going to feel your adductors, primarily the bottom adductor there. So really thinking of bringing the hips towards the ribs. So this is a really good way to get our side plank in that's not too aggressive. So we're managing that pressure, no coning, no doming. And then a half. Making sure you're not arching in your back. So full and a half. Weighted through the feet, reaching the knees long. If it gets to be too much, you can just keep doing full ones with that rest in between. Let's do 2 more sets, and then we're going to hold for 10 seconds. 1, last double here, and hold. Reach those knees long, reach long, feel your glutes are on. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring this ball in our hands. So a couple options here for dead bugs. We can have One heel on the ground, one leg in the air, extending out. Engaging as you reach that leg out. Shortening the lever if there's any arching, coning, or doming. Or you can make it a little more challenging, keeping one leg in the air, sliding the other leg on the ground. All right? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're going for 45 seconds. You choose the level. You can press into the ball as you exhale to create more tension in your core. Long through that crown. Keeping that deep core wrapped. Nicely done. 5 seconds. And last rep. Switch legs. So I have my other leg in the air. Again, depending where you're at, you might just be up and down with one leg, keeping the other leg on the ground. That's it. Make sure your jaws relax, shoulders are relaxed. You can hold the ball lower if that's helpful. Keeping that deep core. Feel between your hip bones that there's that tension in this deep core. Last one. Good. We're going to take this ball and we're going to put it back between your ankles and we're going to go for another round here. So on your side, ankles between the ball. We're going to inhale. Exhale, zip up, engage the core, bring those hips towards the ribs, float the feet off the ground. You can relax your head down. Nice work. And again, you can hold for longer if that feels good. Keep breathing into your ribs, into your belly, wherever you have space. Keeping that deep core super active. And our deep core is more than just our lower abdominals. And switch sides. We're going to exhale, press up or roll over. Switch on over to the other side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, zip up, engage. Reaching the hips towards the ribs. The movement's coming from in here. We're floating the legs up. We're squeezing into the ball, getting that adductor on. Nice work. Last one. That's it. Over onto your back. Ball between your knees. We're going to go into those hip lifts. So full hip lift and then just half and back up. That half just really increases the intensity that much more. We're squeezing into the ball, keeping the adductors active. As we come down and relax, you can lose the tension, but keep the tension there for the 2 reps. Our adductors typically tend to get really tight and they stay tight and they're weak, so we want to contract, relax them so they're moving through their range. They're not just getting tight and weak, and we're actually strengthening them. So one of the things I find postpartum that is super weak in a lot of moms. Last one. And hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into our dead bug. So remember, you can keep one leg on the ground, extending one leg out, or keep one leg in the air, slide the other leg along the floor. 3, 2, 1, here we go. You choose your level. And the slower you go with these, the more you're going to feel that in your deep core. We don't want to rush them. I'm squeezing into the ball to create even more tension in my core. Just on the exhale. Keeping a nice neutral spine, no arching. Watch that there's no coning or doming in your belly. Last one. Switching sides. Relax your jaw, relax your neck. Make sure you're not holding tension there. We want the tension to come from our deep core. Hip flexors doing work here as well. Ten seconds. You've got this. Nicely done. So we're gonna roll over, press on up, and we're gonna get into a deep squat. We're just gonna relax the pelvic floor. So you're gonna take either your ball or your block, and we're gonna sit up on it in a deep squat. If you don't need a block and you feel good, you're not too tight, you can hang out and relax here. You can take the block away. We're just gonna let our back round down, open your knees as wide as you need to. Relaxing the pelvic floor, breathing into our back. We can add some rotation in here, pressing into your knee, opening up, and to the other side. Good. Let's just go back down on our hands and knees. And we're just gonna cat-cow, looking up. And then into a cat, press through the palms, checking that you're not squeezing your glutes. You're using your core to lift yourself up. Nice. And hope you feel really engaged and could feel that deep core connecting with you, feel your glutes coming on, and have yourself a great day. I'll see you next time.